Managing $5 trillion a year of distributions. That's a part-time job, or does that require full-time?
No, sir. He is not managing $5 trillion a year of distribution. He is doing a tech upgrade, an ERP system.
That's all that Mr. Lebrick was doing, was a tech upgrade?
Sorry?
Mr. Lebrick, who said, I'm not going to allow people to hack into this system. He was just doing a tech upgrade? Or you've downgraded what that job function is?
Mr. Lebrick was in charge of 1.5 billion payments a year, which 1/3 did not have a task identification.
Sir, come on.
So he had failed.
Come on, we're going to move along.
Treasury Secretary Bessant was put on the hot seat over a system that moves more than $5 trillion every single year, and his answers left lawmakers stunned. This isn't just government paperwork. This is the system that sends out Social Security checks, veterans benefits, and tax refunds. If that system isn't secure, it's everyday Americans who could pay the price.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Secretary Bessant, I'm starting my 7th year in Congress, and in those 7 years, I have never received more phone calls from my constituents on any issue than the hack into the Treasury payment system earlier this year. As you know well, this is the system that manages over $5 trillion a year of federal payments to taxpayers, payers to Social Security beneficiaries, payers to embedded foreign assets who are overseas and undercover, and it has their personal information and their routing information. This is a purple district. People were nervous. We sent a letter to your office along with 150 colleagues asking 20 questions. Your response that we just received was non-responsive on all 20. Mr. Chairman, I'd like unanimous consent to enter those 2 letters into the record.
Without objection.
I want to get through a lot of those questions right now, Secretary Bessant, and I would ask you to be as brief as you were in your response, but I would very much like a more fulsome answer in writing. In January, the New York Times reported that you pressured David Lebrick out of his role overseeing that after he refused to grant that access to people that Elon Musk had imposed. Can you confirm the accuracy of those reports?
That's incorrect, Mr.
You met with him on January 30th, put him on administrative leave, and he left the day later. Is that accurate?
I did not put him on administrative leave. Administrative leave, I asked him to take, I met with him 90 minutes
So you're denying the New York Times report? Was it your choice?
I am adamantly saying that the New York Times is inaccurate.
Okay, all right, fine. That's yes or no. New York Times is inaccurate, fine.
He was not placed on administrative leave, and he subsequently resigned after sending numerous emails.
Sir, I'm just asking for yes or no questions. If you want to be voluminous, please write me a letter. Was it your decision to terminate Mr. Lebrick, or were you pressured by others?
He resigned.
Who made the decision to put him on administrative leave? You or someone else?
Again, sir, he was not put on administrative leave. That is
okay, so you're denying the New York Times. Fair enough. Tom Krause, you a fan of him, who's now playing that role?
Yes.
Okay. You'd mentioned earlier he was in that role. Do you agree that that role includes duties that include managing Treasury's payment system to ensure timely Social Security payments, overseeing auctions for U.S. Treasury bonds, which determine interest rates, and ensuring the U.S. doesn't breach the debt limit? Would you agree that that's all part of the functions of that job that Mr. Rouse is now holding?
No.
No. Shocking. Okay. Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in government service?
He does not. Neither do I.
Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in the financial sector, which of course you do?
What's that?
You can answer me. You don't need to. I'm doing this solo. You don't need the people behind you to help you. Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in the financial sector?
He had in the financial sector. Yes, he's put together more than 100.
No. Did he work for a bank? Did he work for a hedge fund? Did he work for a private equity firm?
He worked for a private equity firm.
He's the CEO of a software company.
He's done more than 100 billion of tech deals.
He runs a software company. He's still the CEO of that software company, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
He is. Is it your view that that job that he's holding is a part-time job?
I'm not
managing $5 trillion a year of distributions. That's a part-time job, or does that require full-time?
No, sir. He is not managing $5 trillion a year of distribution. He is doing a tech upgrade, an ERP system.
That's all that Mr. Lebrick was doing, was a tech upgrade?
Sorry?
Mr. Lebrick, who said, I'm not going to allow people to hack into this system. He was just doing a tech upgrade? Or you've downgraded what that job function is?
Mr. Lebrick was in charge of 1.5 billion payments a year, which 1/3 did not have a task identification.
Sir, come on.
So he had failed.
Come on, we're going to move along. The chairman, notably a moment ago, did not swear you in, so you are not under oath right now. February 4th, in your response to a Senate Democrats letter, you said that Mr. Krause will only have read-only access. A moment ago, in response to our chair, you said, and I quote, they were only granted read-only access at Treasury. You're not under oath right now. You could be, but you're not. Mr. Gioeli testified under oath in a recent hearing, saying that Mario Alez was given right access to the Treasury payment system. Do you wish to correct your remarks to the chair, the ranking member,
I would say that
no one was given right access?
I never granted anything other than
But Mario Alez was granted right access.
I never granted anything other than read-only access.
Mr. Alez left the Treasury Department in part after it was discovered that he said, normalize Indian hate, and I just want a eugenic immigration policy. Do you agree with those sentiments?
I do not at all.
Do you think that someone who has those sentiments should be employed in your department?
That I had a conversation with the vice president that I admired his grace.
He then went to HHS.
Gentleman's time has expired. Thank the gentleman from Illinois. The gentleman from Indiana is now recognized. Mr. Stutzman for 5 minutes.
This payment system is basically the government's financial engine. It moves money for Social Security checks, veterans benefits, tax refunds, and even debt payments that keep the U.S. economy stable. In 1 year, more than $5 trillion flow through it. If that system gets hacked or disrupted, it's not just numbers on a screen. It's seniors missing rent, veterans not getting benefits, families waiting for refunds that never come. It could trigger real panic in the economy. That's why Casten's questions were so important. He wanted to know who exactly has access to the system. Were unqualified people put in charge? And were Americans told the whole truth about what happened? When he pushed for yes or no answers, the secretary dodged, gave vague responses, and sometimes contradicted earlier reports. That's not reassuring when we're talking about the backbone of the U.S. financial system. One key issue here is the difference between read-only and write access. Think of it this way. Read-only means you can look at your bank account balance. Write access means you can move money in or out. If someone has write access when they shouldn't, they could reroute payments, delay checks, or even cause chaos in financial markets. That's why Casten kept pressing so hard. There's another piece of this: experience. The person now overseeing parts of the system comes from tech and private equity, not government finance. That doesn't make him a bad professional, but Treasury isn't like running a startup. You don't get to move fast and break things when people's livelihoods are on the line. What matters here is stability, caution, and accountability. And here's the human angle. Imagine your grandmother waiting for her Social Security check, or a veteran depending on a monthly benefit to buy medication. If the system fails, those aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. Those are real people's lives disrupted. That's why transparency matters. Lawmakers and the public deserve clear, documented answers, not evasions. At the end of the day, this isn't about Democrats versus Republicans. It's about whether the government is doing its job to protect the systems that we all rely on. If they can't give straight answers about something this important, how can we feel confident it's secure? This is why oversight matters. This is why transparency matters. And this is why ordinary people need to keep paying attention. Because when these systems fail, it's not the politicians who pay the price. It's us. So let's open it up. Do you think this was just miscommunication, or is something bigger being hidden from the public? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe so more people can understand what's really happening in Washington.